If you're under 40 and still haven't crossed $100,000 in net worth, this might be the most important video you watch this year. Let's be real. $100,000 isn't just a number. It's the threshold where your money starts to work harder than you do. And yet, as of the latest U.S. Federal Reserve survey, the median savings for American households is only $8,000. That's not just low, it's terrifying. But if you're sitting there thinking, how do I change that? Good news, you're not too late and you're not alone. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I would build my first $100K from scratch, step by step, even if I were starting with nothing but a modest paycheck and a few hours. A week to spare. We're not going to talk about vague concepts or boring budgeting advice. This is about strategy, leverage, and action. Let's dive in. The first $100K, why it's everything. A decade ago, I hit my first $100K in net worth. I remember thinking it would take forever to get there, but once I crossed that milestone, everything changed. It was the first time my investments actually began to feel real. Before that, investing with $100 or even $1,000 felt like a drop in the ocean. Let me put this into perspective. Let's say you manage to invest $100 and somehow you pull off a 20% annual return. That's twice the average return of the S&P 500. Your reward, $20. Now, $20 is fine. It might get you lunch, but it's hardly life-changing. Now imagine you've got $100,000 working for you instead. At just a 10% return, you'd earn $10,000 in a year. That's 500 hours of labor at 20 hours for doing nothing but letting your money sit in the right place. That's the magic of capital. It scales. And the rich, they don't just understand this, they live by it. Your first $100K is the bridge from survival mode to real wealth building. But how do you get there? It comes down to two things: making more money, saving more of it. Let's start with the first part, increasing your income. Framework. Number 1, skill. Arbitrage, one of the most powerful frameworks I've used personally and taught others, is called skill arbitrage. Let's define it in simple terms. Skill arbitrage is when you take a skill you already have, something you're good at, and repurpose it in a way that creates more value in a different context or market. Here's a real-world example. Let's say you've spent the last 5 years working in human resources at a mid-sized company. You've reviewed thousands of resumes and LinkedIn profiles. You understand exactly what hiring managers are looking for. Right now, maybe you're making a solid $90K, $100K salary. But what if you took that knowledge and created a side hustle helping job seekers land interviews? You could offer resume consultations for $150, $300 each LinkedIn profile, overhauls interview coaching, do just 10 of these a month, and you're suddenly making an extra $2,000, $3,000. That's an additional $24K, $36K per year with zero new skills. Just a new application of what you already know. This is how you multiply income without waiting for a promotion. I've seen teachers offer tutoring online at higher rates. Engineers become freelance consultants. Designers launch courses or digital products. Everyone has something. So ask yourself, what do I already know? Where is this knowledge undervalued? Where could I sell it for more? You don't need to reinvent yourself. You need to redeploy yourself. My personal story of arbitrage, let me share how I used this exact idea in my own life. Years ago, I worked in mobile gaming, specifically monetization. My job was to figure out how to encourage users to spend more in games like Clash of Clans or Candy Crush. It was part psychology, part business, and part data. When I left that job, I realized that skill set wasn't limited to gaming. I started consulting for other app developers, product designers, and even marketing teams. Why? Because I knew how to turn digital users into paying customers. That one career shift, monetizing my own monetization skills, became one of the most profitable moves I've ever made. And you can do the same. Even if you think your job is ordinary, chances are there's a specialized problem you solve every day that others would pay for. You just need to look at it through a different lens. Another example, car enthusiast to car income. Let's say you're someone who loves working on cars. You do your own oil changes, rotate your own tires, replace brake pads on the weekend. Seems like a hobby, right? But here's how it could become an income stream. Offer mobile car maintenance. Go to people's homes to change their oil or swap out batteries. Charge 75, 150-hour plus parts. Start a YouTube channel. Or blog teaching others how to fix basic car issues. Monetize with affiliate links for tools or parts. Partner with a local shop to do virtual diagnostics for customers who don't want to visit in person. This isn't fantasy, it's skill leverage. It's taking something you already enjoy and turning it into a profit center. So what if you've read this far and thought, okay, I don't have any special skills or side hustle ideas yet. Where do I even start? You're not alone. The truth is, many people feel stuck because they haven't developed a high-income skill, something that can earn $40 to $50 per hour or more, consistently. But here's the good news. High-income skills aren't reserved for geniuses or lucky breaks. They can be learned by anyone willing to put in the time and focus. Building new skills from scratch. If you don't already have a marketable skill, your best move is to pick one and commit to building it over the next 12 to 18 months. But you have to be honest with yourself. Learning new skills isn't always glamorous. It can be boring. It can be frustrating. And many people quit because they lose interest or get distracted. That's why it's critical to find something that sits at the intersection of what you're actually interested in, what you're naturally good at, and what pays well. Let me give you some examples. Digital marketing. The modern gold mine. I spend a lot of my free time on social media, studying what content goes viral, what ads convert, and how small businesses build brands online. If I had to pick one high-income skill to learn today, it'd be digital marketing. Why? Because it's in massive demand and the barrier to entry isn't high. You can start by learning how to create effective Facebook and TikTok ads, writing email marketing campaigns, managing Instagram accounts for businesses. There are tons of free and paid resources online, courses, tutorials, and communities to support you. The upside? You could start offering your services locally or online within months and start making $40, $50 an hour or more. Tangible skills that pay too. Maybe digital marketing isn't your thing. Maybe you want something more hands-on, something you can touch, see, and feel. Here are some practical ideas. Lawn mowing and landscaping services, gutter cleaning or window washing, car detailing or oil changes. These might seem simple, but here's the catch. People will always pay for convenience and expertise. You don't have to be a master to start, just better than the alternatives. Starting a service-based business like this can generate cash flow quickly and even lead to bigger opportunities down the road. The big picture: skill, income. Freedom. Building a high-income skill isn't just about money. It's about freedom and control. Once you have a skill that can command $40 to $50 per hour, you can negotiate better salaries, start a side hustle or freelance business, eventually transition to full-time entrepreneurship if you want. That's the foundation that leads to financial independence. But wait, there's another side. Saving smarter. Now that we've covered how to make more money, let's flip the coin. Because here's the harsh reality. Even if you double your income, if you spend all of it, you won't get to that 100K mark any faster. Making more money is only half the battle. Saving money, and saving it intentionally, is where most people fall short. Why saving is more powerful than investing. At first, you might think, I should just invest everything and let compound interest do its thing. And yes, investing is crucial. But when you're building your first $100,000, most of your growth will come from saving, not investment returns. Let's look at the numbers. If you save $15,000 a year for 6 years and earn a modest 4.5% return on your investments, you'll hit about $105,000, but 85% of that is your own savings. Only 15% is from interest or gains. This means your saving habits and income generation matter way more in the early stages than investment performance. Step 1. Track every dollar. You spend. The first and most powerful habit you can develop to save more money is to track your expenses religiously. I know it sounds tedious, but it works. When you're aware of every dollar you spend, whether it's a coffee, a subscription, or a dinner out, you start to understand where your money is really going. This awareness naturally makes you spend less without feeling deprived. You can track your expenses in many ways. Use a free app on your phone, write them in a notebook at the end of each day, or use a simple spreadsheet to categorize spending. Just be consistent. Step 2. Analyze and adjust once. You've tracked your expenses for a month or more. The next step is reviewing your spending patterns. You might find surprising things, like a friend who was spending $800 every month on rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft. Once they realized it, they bought a used car and saved thousands every year. Maybe you'll notice subscriptions you don't use, or eating out habits that add up fast. The goal isn't to eliminate all fun, but to be strategic about where you spend and where you save. Step 3. Embrace frugality without sacrificing happiness. Frugality often gets a bad rap because people imagine living a joyless, deprived life. But true frugality is about making smarter choices, not being cheap. Here's a popular example from a guide I love. Stop eating out so much. Skip fast food, pizza delivery, and DoorDash. These meals often cost twice as much as cooking at home. If you socialize, eat at home first, then go out just for drinks during happy hour. Tiny lifestyle changes like these add up to hundreds or thousands saved each year. And here's the kicker. Those savings can be redirected straight into your 100K goal. Step 4. Automate your savings. The final key to saving faster is to make it automatic. If you get paid on a schedule, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, set up an automatic transfer from your checking to a separate savings account. Make paying yourself first a non-negotiable. For example, if you make $2,000 every 2 weeks, automatically transfer $400 to savings each pay period. You don't even see the money, it's gone before you have a chance to spend it. By automating, you remove temptation and build wealth without even thinking about it. So you've worked hard to build that first $100,000. You earned more, saved more, and now the question is, what's next? Because here's the truth. If you just stash that 100K under your mattress or keep it sitting in a low-interest savings account, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. This is where your money can finally start working for you. Investing. Turning savings into wealth. Once you've hit your 100K milestone, the power of compounding returns begins to accelerate your wealth in ways that saving alone can't match. To put it simply, saving is like planting a seed, investing is watering, and nurturing that seed so it grows into a tree. Where should you invest? There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your investment choices depend on your risk tolerance, timeline, and personal goals. But let's focus on smart, proven strategies for beginners and intermediate investors who want to build wealth steadily and safely. Strategy 1. Low-cost index funds. The simplest, safest, and most effective way to grow your money over decades is by investing in low-cost index funds. These funds track the overall market, like the S&P 500 or total stock market. Why? Index funds? They offer diversification. Your money is spread across hundreds or thousands of companies. They have very low fees, usually less than 0.1% per year, and historically, they've averaged annual returns of 7 to 10% after inflation. Common. Pitfall: trying to time the market. Many people get caught up trying to buy low and sell high, or chasing hot stocks. But research shows this almost never works for most investors. Timing the market is like trying to predict the weather months in advance. It's unpredictable and risky. Instead, the best strategy is to stay invested through ups and downs, keep adding to your investments regularly, and focus on the long term. Strategy 2. Dollar cost. Averaging dollar cost averaging means investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, no matter what the market is doing. For example, invest $500 every month into an index fund. Over time, you buy more shares when prices are low and fewer when prices are high. This strategy reduces risk and helps avoid emotional decisions during market volatility. The mindset shift: thinking long term. Here's something that separates successful investors from everyone else. They think in decades, not days or months. Investing isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a marathon. Wealth builds slowly but steadily. The stock market will have crashes and corrections. It's normal. But historically, markets always recover and continue to grow. If you panic sell during downturns, you lock in losses. If you stay calm and keep investing, you give your money the chance to grow exponentially. Strategy 3. Diversify beyond stocks. While stocks form the core of most portfolios, diversifying across different asset classes can reduce risk and improve returns. Consider bonds or bond funds, which provide more stability and income, real estate investment trusts, REITs, offering exposure to property markets, even small allocations in alternative assets like gold or cryptocurrencies, but only if you understand the risks. The key is balance, protecting your money from market swings while still participating in growth. Building a portfolio that works for you. There's no perfect portfolio that fits everyone, but a common rule of thumb is younger investors can afford to take more risks, more stocks. Older investors tend to shift towards safer investments, more bonds. For example, age 30, 80% stocks, 20% bonds. Age 50, 60% stocks, 40% bonds. Age 65, 40% stocks, 60% bonds. Adjust based on your comfort level and goals. The power of I. Consistency. No matter which strategies you choose, the most important factor is consistency. Keep investing every month. Keep saving every paycheck. Even if the amounts seem small, they add up dramatically over time. Pro tip: avoid lifestyle inflation. One sneaky thing that often slows down wealth building is lifestyle inflation. When your spending increases as your income grows. When you start making more money, it's tempting to upgrade your lifestyle. A nicer car, fancier dinners, or bigger vacations. But if you want to accelerate wealth, keep your expenses in check and funnel that extra money into investments. Mindset. Wealth is a journey, not a destination. Building wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about creating freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms, to make choices without fear, and to build a legacy. Remember, money is a tool. How you use it determines your quality of life. So, stay patient, keep learning, celebrate small wins, and don't be discouraged by setbacks. Every dollar saved and invested is a step closer to your financial goals. Final thoughts. The road ahead. By now you've learned how to develop high-income skills to earn more, how to save intentionally and automate your money, and how to invest wisely to turn your savings into lasting wealth. This path isn't easy, but it's simple. If you stay disciplined, most importantly, you're not alone. Millions have walked this road and succeeded, and so can you. So are you ready to take control of your financial future? To build that first $100,000 and then turn it into a lifelong source of freedom? The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Let's get to work.